Hello everybody and welcome to another Town of Salem gameplay video. I have something pretty funny for you here, guys. I started recording a couple seconds late, so I do apologize. I did do a fake real vet bait night 1, and I will be alerting for night 1. This is an interesting game because I don't play this particular game very much like a veteran. I play it more or less like a confirmed townie who's trying to lead town to a victory. This is, I think, a great example on how somebody can play in a way that actually helps town, and when they are indeed a good guy. So, good girl, you know, I'm just saying a good person, one of the good roles, a townie instead of an evil, manipulative mafia member. But anyway, so Miss Philippines is dead, and they're jailer. Right off the bat, that's a real nasty, bad start, right? Now, Reverse Werewolf says Frady is suspect because Frady was in jail, and Jailer died to SK. Well, the problem with that is that according to Jailer's will, Frady is Lookout. No SK, I mean, they can claim Lookout, right? But nobody really claims Lookout. I happen to think this is just just an issue, right? This is just an unlucky Lookout right here, and a very lucky SK kill. So I don't like the fact the Reverse Werewolf is actually pushing on Fatty right now, and a whole bunch of people are pushing on them as well, right? I'm saying they very easily could be Lookout. Let's just, if we have a sheriff or an investigator, we can literally wait one day and find out tomorrow. Let's not kill a Lookout if we don't have to do it. Is there a spy? That doesn't really help us too much, truthfully, but Fatty gets pushed up without me pushing. And Mafia wants me lynched. I do agree that, but Mafia would want SK lynched probably, right? But I do have a feeling that this is probably Mafia pushing specifically to try to get a kill on this person who probably is actually a Lookout, right? So I say if we have medium or retry, we can find out the truth, or we can have somebody invest them. Like, we really have to know this, guys. People get so like, well, it's a 50-50 shot. It's 50-50 shot. He's probably SK. It's not 50-50. It's not. It's rare that. All right, well, here Free says, what if Fady is SK? Then we all wait for another killing to happen. What if there isn't an invest sheriff? I don't know why Freeze is like so ridiculously concerned about this. But even if they are SK, they could potentially kill Mafia. So if you're saying, well, they could be bad, well, they also could be good. And I don't want to kill a good guy, right? Here's your Moff, says Fady, and I happen to agree. All the innos in that one were 100% necessary, right? And we immediately push up G, which is interesting. G was one of the persons who voted guilty, and the votes just kind of came and piled right on. And it was like, all right, well, let's see what happens here. You know what? Let's see what happens. Now G, I didn't really want to actually kill G, truthfully, but they claim Vig, and I do see CTK. And then they say this, why aren't we killing the 50-50 SK? It's not 50-50. It's not 50-50. Like, it's just silly, all right? He's Mafia, so I'm calling it, says Freeze. And I'm going to shoot them tonight. Nope. And you see, right after that, that's when I decide that this is going to have to go down. I voted. Just let me live. I'll shoot them tonight. No, you're not. You're going to have some excuse as to why you couldn't or didn't shoot them tonight. And then he says, wow, town will improve my claim. GG. And I was like, oh, shoot, maybe he actually is Random Town Vigi. If he is, I mean, I should put that down in my will for our Random Town. Random Town Night 1, Vigi, I suppose, right? And as I kind of get ready for that, turns out they're Witch. So nice. We got ourselves a Witch dead right now. And Witch, interestingly enough, I'm not sure why Witch wanted so badly to kill somebody who supposedly could have been SK, but I don't honestly believe that Fatty is the SK. They could be, right? But I don't think they are SK. They may not be Lookout. They could be Mafia. Although I doubt they would have been voted up so easily and so quickly and without my help had they actually been Mafia. But I do alert Night 2 because I'm being really helpful right now. I feel like I'm kind of very outspoken. I'm trying to lead town. I do believe that I pushed that inno right there. And without me pushing for it, I think that we would have actually had a dead, probably, maybe Lookout on our hand. Maybe it would have been Mafia, maybe not. Next day comes along, and the first thing I do is check to see if Miss Philippines is back. Miss Philippines is back. There is, in fact, A retributionist Freeze killed last night, stabbed by a serial killer. So, who again, we'll find out today. Miss Philippines is back. That means that if the jailer tells us that indeed or we know Fady is the SK, then we kill him. But at least we didn't just randomly kill somebody. So I tell Miss Philippines right off the bat because I do not want to be the person in jail. I'm not Rep, but I am Vet, just letting you know. I did Vet bait night 1. So I'm just I want them to know who's claiming what in case there's another Vigi claim or something like that. It is suspicious. I would say so at least. Although it was very interesting that the witch claimed Vigi. It's a rare claim for a witch, right? Mary Edsty is dead now, and there is a clean. That's a bit of a bummer because cleans mean that there's going to be missing roles that we won't necessarily know what they are. Miss Philippines, though, has been resurrected, and this is a good thing. So, we have to ask. John Hathorne says Night 2, Fady is not suspicious. Fady would have showed up as SK, so it looks like they're not, right? The opposite is that potentially John Hathorne could be covering for them for some unknown weird reason, but it doesn't seem like this is the case, right? John Hathorne says he's not and is claiming sheriff. There's no reason to deny that, truthfully. But we just want to make sure that we confirm that with the jailer, because the jailer is 100% chance of being correct, right? And Miss Philippines says G said need lynch SK. G is a witch, and like Miss Philippines, let's use our brain here. You would know if they are SK. It would have told you that you were killed by the SK that you jailed, right? But we've already gone ahead and basically figured out that they're not. Now again, it doesn't mean they're not mafia, but it does mean that what they aren't at least is SK. There's a push on low C, and I don't push low C myself. I'm not even sure necessarily why it is that we are pushing low C, right? So let's see what happens to be said here. Oh, I remember now. We're pushing based upon people who guiltied on Fady, who claims to be the lookout. And which also guilty, which does make us think that the evils would have been perhaps more likely to guilty. So, I am Vet. Low C claims Vet. I am Vet. What are you doing? Why would you claim Vet when I CC'd the mafioso claim and Vet baited night 1? Guilty it. Guilty it, guilty it, guilty it, guilty it. Seriously, there is no jest, so we're guilting this one, right? Reverse Werewolf is innocent to this. What do you do in reverse? What do you do in Reverse Werewolf? So I think we have to get a claim here. Now Los leaves the game immediately. Now this is ranked, so I don't know if he's either scumming or just leaving because he doesn't want to play anymore. Either way, it's not allowed in ranked, guys. As far as I'm concerned, you can't leave a ranked game until you lose or you win, because otherwise your elo means nothing, right? Otherwise, if you only keep the wins, of course you're going to have a high elo, and elo is not to be trusted right now anyway. So Losi was the mafioso, and they had voted guilty on Fady, which basically means that in all likelihood Fady is not, F-A-D-Y that is, not Fatty, Fady. In all likelihood, Fady is probably not a mafia, right? I am alerting. Particularly tonight, I'm actually using a little bit of tactical awareness here. I'm alerting tonight because I claimed a bet, and I'm hoping that SK or Mafia thinks, well, because he claimed today, that means he probably won't alert today, right? So I'm alerting. But in particular, I also want to stay alive because I find that I feel like I'm being helpful to town right now. And I want to stay alive as long as I can to get as much town information and as much town talkativeness going as is humanly possible. So I told Miss Philippines to jail Reverse Werewolf last night. There does not seem to be a Mafia kill. We're going to have to see what it is the Reverse Werewolf claims, but I mean, we have a feeling we probably know what they are. There's no kill, probably Godfather. That's the guess, at least for now, right? John Hathorne's dead, and John Hathorne was sheriff. SK killing sheriff is a smart idea because it gives them the only chance they would ever have of being undiscovered, right? Who was jailed last night, of course, is our next question. Vape Nation comes out and says their lookout as well, and says Miss Phillips was visited by Miss Murder and Fady. Now, this is a really cool thing to know because Fady claims lookout. This seems reasonable now that Vape Nation is confirming Fady, and Miss Murder therefore would be, guys, guess what Miss Murder would be? Who would be visiting a confirmed jailer? Town Protective, right? So we ask Miss Murder claims BG. Reverse werewolf claims BG. I said wasn't on jailer, and then I was like, oh wait, die. They were jailed, so that's why they couldn't have been on jail. But either way, seriously, and Miss Philippines says Miss Murder BG. That's the claim right there. Hemlock now claiming sheriff, and I'm saying Hemlock may be lying because I just don't trust the sheriff claim right here. But first, kill 15. I do believe it's time to kill 15. Pervy Sage says too many TI, which is interesting to say. What do you think Pervy Sage is kind of implicating here, right? They didn't claim a role. They just said there's too many TIs. So he's saying, look at the people who are claiming TI. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Look at people claiming TI. That's interesting, right? So this guy, the clearly guilty mafioso claims BG, which is a GF claim. There's no jest. We're gonna guilty this. Like this is, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Town, follow the leader. We're guilting this. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Hey, cannot get rid of the possibility of a troll Godfather, saying that perhaps Godfather didn't attack last night on purpose to try to get me killed. But you claimed BG. If you'd claimed something else, I may have given you a shot and just said jail again. But no. You claimed BG. Seriously. I say jail someone who didn't vote this up because I do not know who the SK is, right? I don't know. But my gut feeling is that whoever is actually going to be the Mafia probably did not vote this up. They probably voted guilty because Miss Murder appears to be BF or BG, I mean, and Fady, I believe, is Lookout. Now here I'm trying to organize a search tonight, right? So I'm telling Fady to watch Miss Murder, who is Miss Murder is our BG, who I think is attackable, and I'm telling Vape Nation to watch Fady because my gut feeling right now is that SK and Godfather are going to be looking at killing either the Lookout or the bodyguard. They won't, I don't believe, be looking to kill the jailer. So that's why I told people to watch who they watch. This way, in case they go for the BG, which is a reasonable thing to kill, right? For either faction, we'll know that. And Fady also seems to be a confirmed Lookout. Now, of course, so is Vape Nation, but if anybody seems more suspicious, Vape Nation abstained, so I feel like they might be more likely to kill Fady tonight if that was the case. So that's why I organized the way that I organized them. I do not know if they're following this, and I unfortunately get killed by a serial killer. I didn't have any alerts left. If only I had saved one alert, I could have alerted that night and killed the serial killer myself. But now I'm dead, and you cannot rule so well from the dead without a medium, right? There's been no medium claim so far, and any medium claim would be suspicious due to a janitor, right? And also, jailer didn't say anything about any mediums. So, I am dead. And I do believe that Random Town 1 is Lookout, because Sheriff, Lookout, I think is what we have going on here. Hemlock claiming Sheriff, I also have that on my list of things that I'm suspicious of, but Hemlock is dead today, so let's see how it is that goes. Hemlock brutally murdered last night, committed suicide, executed by the jailer. Well, alrighty then, this person who claimed Sheriff kind of like off the cuff, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm Sheriff. Sorry I was AFK, don't believe you. 14 Moth, but seems to be a townie. Who writes that stuff and then doesn't actually come out and say that they showed up as Mafia? Who in the world would do that? Hemlock dead and is the janitor. Well, janitor, I'm sorry, you had a bad will there. That was a will that I would have executed again and again and again. I would have reversed time, gone back, read that will again, spit on it, and executed it. And William Phipps, the Mayor Down. So Mayor Down is very interesting. Mayor Down would be another Random Town spot. And I love getting Random Town spots confirmed. I don't like it when they die so much because they're town, unless it's a Mafia, of course. But I do like confirming Random Town. It's one of my favorite things to do is to keep track of the Random Town. I think that keeping track of Random Town is the key to victory in ranked and ranked practice. I really believe that. So, here we are. Fady says, me and Vape are Lookout, and that does seem to be the case. Pervy Sage says one of the Lookout claims is lying. And that's not necessarily the case, right? But Pervy Sage is pushing on both Lookouts right now. Vape Nation had Night 3 completely correct from what we know. Miss Philippines, Miss Murder, and Fady. Now this is where I get very, very confused. Miss Murder is BG, says Fady, and that does seem right. Now, Fady says Night 3, Miss Philippines visited by Miss Murder and Vape Nation, right? And at this point I'm like, wait a second. One of these could be faked. One of these could be faked. And if one of them is faked, now really, if you think about it, the likelihood is that there's two people who haven't claimed right now, right? There's two people who haven't claimed, 3 and 7. But if anybody's lying, I'm saying that it's Fady that's lying, because Fady was a person who came out with Night 3 second, whereas the Vape Nation had both Fady and Miss Philippines, or I'm sorry, Fady and Miss Murder correctly on Night 3. So Vape Nation is 100% good to go in my book. If there is a weak point in the lookout claims, it is Fady. Miss Vape Nation seems to be fine. However, yeah, you know what? Good point, Dead Chat. 3 and 7 have not been killed, so I think they're both pretty good liars. 4 could be lying. If there is a liar, there is 4. Now, John Hathorne says, I checked 4, and 4 is NS. Okay, cool. 3 is SK, I checked him. Alright, so now we know the Pervy Sage is the SK. We're getting close to the end of the game here. There's 4 town, and there's 2 evils left. After tonight, it could be 2 town versus 1 versus 1. This could be it right here. Pervy Sage says Fady Will is suspicious. Pervy Sage is dead. And so is Miss Murder. Now I'm confused. Miss Murder, I guess, killed by mafia? Killed by mafia and also died guarding somebody. Wait, what? How did you... Wait. How is it that Pervy Sage was jailed and yet also killed by a bodyguard? How does this even work? Aha! Well, Pervy Sage is in fact the serial killer, and it turns out the jailer jailed Pervy Sage did not execute, and instead the bodyguard was able to save her from and kill the SK. Guys, if Miss Murder died without saving the jailer, this would be a town loss by all means, because the jailer did not execute serial killer. It would be serial killer plus mafia versus 2 town. This game was that close to being a loss, but guess what? It's not, is it? It's not. The only question is Fady or Vape Nation, which one's whom? Now Fady says that Medusa is the last person visited Miss Murder, and Medusa claims Invest. Now, there's no room for Invested, though Medusa is trying quite hard. As long as one of the... Now, Medusa made the right claim. TI was the right claim here, because you can counter their TI claims. But, at this point, Fady and Vape Nation are basically both confirmed. As confirmed as you can be at this stage. Now, this is what I would do if I was a jailer. As jailer today, you do lynch. You absolutely lynch Medusa today. And then you take a 50-50 chance jailing the next person, right? Who could be potentially lying. If I was jailer right now, push up Medusa, sounds reasonable. Either Fady or Miss Philippines is lying. If Medusa is innocent, then Fady would be the person who was lying, because they said that only one person visited Miss Murder, and that was Medusa. So I would have Fady for the jail for that night, just to confirm. Of course, I would not execute, just so you know. Although you probably, I guess either way you would have lost if you were wrong. But anyway, they're going to go ahead and they're going to vote on Medusa. Mafia, I am town, Invest, actually. Dude, Sheriff confirms me as town, says Fatty. And yeah, John Hathorne's, I believe their will does actually have him as confirmed town. Now, because he wasn't Godfather, that would be correct by all impressions. So, man. What a close game, guys. If Miss Murder was not on the jailer, which of course she's going to be, right? That would have been a game, because the jailer did not execute serial killer. I don't remember really what serial killer was claiming, but turns out this worked out very, very well for us. So, nicely done, guys. Vape Nation, Fady, double lookouts, confirmed each other, ended up helping out town a lot. Retributionist for the win there for sure. Miss Philippines brought back from the death. I hope you guys all enjoyed. We're doing pretty well here. We're still playing legit, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace out.
Yes.